Shalom and greetings from Jerusalem. Jane standing here at my kitchen table. I want to give you the latest update out of Israel. As you probably have heard right now, Israel is at war. Israel was attacked by several hundred terrorists who breached the fence from the Gaza Strip into Israel and committed atrocities, massacres towards the Israelis living in the communities across the border. This happened Saturday morning, Simchat Torah, Shabbat, where people were sleeping in their houses. All of a sudden they start hearing the red alert, the code red, and rockets start flying in. So of course people are waking up from that. Then they start looking out their windows, and to their great horror, they are seeing these terrorists driving around on motorcycles, running around in the streets, driving in all of these white pickup trucks, and then they go literally and they execute every single person they meet in the streets. They execute people in their cars, and they go from house to house. They are breaking down the doors, and they are plainly massacring, executing the people in the houses. Then they started kidnapping people, putting them on their trucks, driving them into the Gaza because they're a hole in the fence, bringing them into the Gaza strips. They are coming back and they are taking more hostages. This is atrocities we haven't seen since the Yom Kippur War. This is a massacre we haven't seen since the Yom Kippur War. There are videos of people lying dead in the streets, lying dead in their houses, lying dead in their cars, plainly executed by these disgusting terrorists. As of now, according to Israeli media, there has been more than 1,900 people injured, 350 people brutally murdered, and more than 100 people was taken hostage, pulled in, and now they are sitting in the Gaza Strip hostage. We are talking about grandmothers. We are talking about young mothers with their children, with their babies, men, women, whole families were kidnapped and dragged into the Gaza Strip. It is absolutely horrendous. Israeli police went out and said that 30 police officers died yesterday when they heroically was fighting against these terrorists. 30 police officers was murdered yesterday, and 26 soldiers from the Israeli army was also murdered when they heroically was defending Israel and the Jewish people against these horrendous terrorists. So the numbers from the military, 26 soldiers, from the police, 30 police officers brutally murdered, and then the official number of Israeli civilians who was murdered and Israeli civilians who was taken hostage has not been released because they simply don't know. They are not done going through all the Jewish communities, going through all the houses, finding survivors hiding in their bomb shelters or people lying massacred in their house, and they don't have yet an overview over who and how many was dragged into the Gaza Strip. Here we are 28 hours later, and we still have Hamas terrorists on the loose in Israel. You have to remember there are still many holes in the fence, so terrorists are still coming into Israel. 3 of them actually hijacked a car and they were driving north in Israel, and about less than 20 minutes ago, Israeli military spotted them and there was a gun battle and they took out these 3 terrorists. The Israeli police and the Israeli military has a goal to evacuate all citizens living in the proximity of the Gaza border in the Israeli communities within the next 24 hours. So the Israeli military up until this morning has been in gun battle against these terrorists, liberating some of the hostages that they have had. They have arrested and killed more than 400 terrorists. While I'm saying all of this, the red alert is still going on. Rocket is still being fired into Israel. Rocket has been fired into Israel all night. And the Israeli military, the Israeli Air Force is bombing Hamas terror sites in the Gaza Strip as of now. But this is a complete act of war. The leadership of Hamas was all in Iran not that long ago, meeting with the Ayatollahs, the leadership of Iran, and they were scheming and they were plotting this attack. This is not just about a little group of terrorists inside the Gaza Strip. This is orchestrated, this is paid for by Iran and their proxies, including Hezbollah up in north. We also have rockets being fired into Israel from the northern border. So the military is calling up reservists. People are pulling into the armies. People are coming home from abroad to go and sign up and join the army, because now we are going to have a full-scale war inside Gaza. So this is much, much, much bigger. This is much bigger. This is a big battle that Israel has been fighting with Hamas inside the Gaza Strip, but they are also moving out in Judea and Samaria. During these high holidays that we have had, everything has been on high alert because the security establishment was picking up on all of these threats, terrorist attempts in Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria. So that's where the focus have been. On top of this, the people in Gaza started rioting again on the fence, shooting at our soldiers, throwing explosive devices at our soldiers, sending the arson balloons into Israel, setting Israel on fire, burning tires with the smoke coming into Israel. So everything was very, very tense on the border between Israel and Gaza, until Hamas all of a sudden said, stop, stop, don't do that. They pulled back, and then a lot of the troops at that crossing was pulled back, and now it was wide open. So this was a complete surprise attack for the Israeli military and for all of us here in Israel. And I am just heartbroken. I'm sitting watching Israeli news, and I see one person after another going on TV saying, I can't find my mom, I can't find my sister, I can't find my sister. We haven't heard anything since yesterday. And these are people who is living in the Jewish communities close to the Gaza border. They don't know, was my sister kidnapped? Was she taken into Gaza? Is she lying murdered in her house? It is absolutely devastating scenes what's going on here. This country is so small that every family has been affected. There's a little bit of noise. That's because they're taking down a sukkah just outside my house. I want to end this video now. Pray for Israel, stand with Israel. We just heard now that there was attack on an Israeli bus in Egypt, Israeli tourist in Egypt. The policeman who was hired to protect that bus started firing into the bus, and the latest that I heard was that 2 people were murdered, 2 Israeli tourists was murdered. I want to get that confirmed on holiday in Egypt. So things are still very, very tense. The Israelis are being evacuated. Rockets are still flying. People are being held hostages in the Gaza Strip. Dead people in the streets, in their houses. So Israel is at war. Please share out this video for the whole truth to get out there, and please follow me on all my social media. I got more than 1,000 new followers on my Telegram channel in less than 24 hours because there's no censorship. I'm sharing a lot on Telegram that I can't share, especially on Facebook. For such a time as this, stand with Israel, pray for Israel. If you are a Christian and when you go to church today, you share that Israel was attacked yesterday, a massacre of more than 300 Israeli civilians, children, women, grandmothers, and more than 100 people were now sitting hostages within the Gaza Strip. So for such a time as this, you can make a difference to be a voice for Israel, to be a prayer partner for Israel, and thank you also for praying for me in this time as I'm trying to share all the latest updates to all of you. Bye.